Guys and girls, I hope that you are ready to ripple. Give me a ready to ripple in the comments there if you are indeed ready to ripple. We are moving on to our next catalyst of change. I'm so super excited to be sharing this interview with you because all of the other authors that are part of the Catalyst of Change book, which launches today, by the way, so make sure you go and buy it from this link that's on the screen, because if you go buy it straight from Amazon, you won't get access to any of the bonuses or the tools, the resources, the masterclasses that we're going to be sharing with you over the next 12 months. I don't want you to miss out on any of that. Yes, ultimately, that will lead you to buy the book on Amazon, but this is your opportunity to sign up for all the bonuses and the masterclasses and everything that also come with the book. So, guys and girls, the reason why I'm so excited about this interview, there's two reasons actually, probably more, but one of the big reasons is that unlike all of the other catalysts of change that are in this book, the catalyst you're about to meet, she is supporting another global entrepreneur to build their movement, to build their purpose. So as you go about this this change that you're stepping into, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be growing your own thing. Being a catalyst of change can also be that you're helping others to grow theirs. So that's one reason why I am really excited to get this next amazing change maker up here, because she is doing that for us at the Impact Catalyst. Instead of doing it individually as one drop, together we are doing it as the ocean. So let me bring her up onto the stage. Wendy!
Hello! I'm very excited. Very excited to be here.
Love it. Coming to us from your houseboat in, tell us where you
Derbyshire.
are.
We're in Derbyshire, the lovely Mercy Marina. It's not shining today, but it doesn't matter. The view's beautiful.
We bring the sunshine. We bring the sunshine.
We do bring the sunshine.
Wendy, I'm super excited to be part of this, because this was kind of sprung on you, like I sprung it on everybody, because the thing is that when you're a catalyst, you move quickly. You have you literally have the idea and you shift into gear. That's what catalysts do in whatever capacity you're in. You're doing that for us all the time, every day, with all of our members around the world. It's like, okay, you don't know what that call's going to be like when you speak to someone. Hey, how you doing? You have no idea what's on the other side of that, but you step into that catalyst within you to shift your gears to match where they are at. Absolutely. That's such a big thing for those of you that are watching. I'd love to know, actually, if you put in the comments, are you building your own business? Are you helping someone else to build their business? Are you thinking about going into business? Are you wanting to help someone else grow their business? And you want to be a catalyst for them so that they can make greater change? Get it in the comments there so that we can get to know you better. So, Wendy, I want to kick off by, because people can read all about your story and where you've come from and how you came to be doing what you're doing now in the chapter itself. But where I want to start off with is actually in your chapter, and I want to springboard, without giving too much away, springboard from this around a little part of your story. Now, in your chapter, guys and girls, if you haven't bought the book yet, the book launches. We'll learn to put my teeth in. The book launches today. I'm going to get that link back up onto the screen right now. So make sure you go buy the book if you haven't bought the book already. So Wendy, your chapter in the book, one of the parts of your chapter, you say this, and this is where I want to leap from. Taking that leap of faith to leave the familiar territory of my old job was terrifying. I'd grown so used to the toxic atmosphere of my old job that I couldn't believe a place like the Impact Catalyst could actually exist. My spark had been reignited along a voice saying, "Why not? What have you got to lose?" So I said yes. Little did I know how completely my life was about to transform. Now, for those that are sitting here watching this or listening to this, thinking, actually, I'm in a job or a business, or I'm in a role, or I'm at home and I want to be in one of those things. Maybe those of you that are watching, one or two of you, maybe thousands of you, might be a mum whose kids have just left and gone off to university. You might have come out of a relationship that felt like it was toxic and the environment wasn't necessarily a good environment for you, and you're thinking, how do I shift gears? Wendy, take us back to that moment where you were like, oh my God, I'm just about to take the leap. What am I doing?
Absolutely. I think I've known you for a while, so you are this ray of sunshine, and you walk around with a smile on your face, and you're always positive. And we used to look at you and just go, the mask's going to slip soon. She's, you can't be that happy all the time. It's ridiculous. You can't be. It never did. And like getting to know you and now being in this world from the world that I was in, I can absolutely see why you're doing it. Like I cannot explain how different my life is now than it was 12 months ago. Absolutely, the difference is phenomenal. I think differently, I act differently, the way I live my life is differently, all because I was in such a toxic environment, and negativity breeds negativity. And I was part of that. I was part of a team that constantly just didn't want to get up. We didn't want to do any work. We were fighting. We were saying this is not going to work. We were part of this team that were just absolutely it was just negativity. It was just doom and gloom, and then it spilled into your home life, which was just like, well, this is not, I've got no motivation to do this, and it just became very meh. And then obviously I stepped into this world and I was blown apart from the second I joined it, because it was everyone's supporting each other, everyone's packing each other's parachute, everyone's positive. It's not just lip service. I probably spent my first month just thinking it's going to crash at some point. This is just going to, because it goes against everything that you've ever believed. I come from a strict background that, didn't believe in anxiety or depression, or you fought through everything. And then I did 20 years of health and social care, which is all about helping people. You forget your own problems. You can't bring your emotions into it. I was in helping lots, and I've helped all the spectrums, from teenagers to self-harmers to, elderly, placing them in care homes. So I've worked through a broad spectrum of health and social care, and it's all about, I'm going to help everyone else. Forget you. You'll power through your own emotions. You haven't got any. You can't bring them into this. So it was very much a different world, because you could now stop and breathe. And actually, no one was micromanaging me. You are just a massive inspiration. And I think that the thing that got me, we sat in an interview for 4 hours. I'll say interview loosely because we were in a pub. We sat having a conversation for 4 hours. And the only thing that stuck out for me was you saying, for no other reason, join my company. All you need to do is just make sure everyone's happy. Make sure they've got everything they need. Make sure there's nobody left alone. Make sure there's nobody that feels like they haven't got people around them that can support them. Make sure they know where the resources are. Make sure that there's this world that they're about to enter is very frightening, and they're going to come across all of these fears that they're going to have. We need to help them through this. And for me, that was it. There was no other ulterior motive. There was no hidden agenda. It was all about helping people. And when you join health and social care, that's all you want to do. But you then become bogged down with the politics, the red tape, you need to do this. Well, that's not in their best interest. It doesn't matter, because we've brought productivity into this now, which is a whole different toxic world of, it doesn't make sense. We're just going to put bums in beds. It doesn't matter about the rest of the stuff, the care bit, the compassion, any of that lot. So for me, this was just like, this is great. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. I'm doing what I've said I'm going to do for 20 years. I have helped so many people in that 20 years, but now I'm helping people in an environment. And this is the key, the environment in which you are in completely dictates what direction you can go in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember being in the pub that day, and you saying, but what could I possibly do for you that you need, because you just couldn't get your head around all of the, because I was just seeing untapped potential in you. I was just seeing, don't you realize that, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, even professionals, we tend to, I think, be brought up in the way of independence. I was brought up very independently, and it becomes very challenging to ask for help. We don't ask for help enough. We feel like we might be judged if we ask for help. Well, what if I ask for help and they're going to think I can't do my job? And there's all these fear of failure, fear of success in some cases, because, well, what if I go higher and then none of my team have become my friends and they're not going to like me anymore? And there's so many reasons why we get stuck or we don't move forward. And I think what was so beautiful with you was you were like, why would you even want me in your I can't understand it. I can't understand it. You couldn't see everything that you'd been doing to help all of those people, and all the qualifications you had are exactly perfect for a role where entrepreneurs are on their own all the time. Solopreneurs are in that environment. I can't ask for help. So who do you ask? Well, we want to be able to be that friend, the person that holds your hand through the process, whether it's transitioning through your career or transitioning into building your own business or building a business you already have, whatever stage you're at. It can be very lonely. I was very lonely at the top of my game when I had a business with many employees. Well, we started off as friends, but we couldn't be friends anymore because now they're your employee. You can't talk to them about the same things that you used to be able to talk about all the time. And so it becomes a very lonely role. You become an island. And so, yeah, I just saw in you so much potential you didn't see in yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that is the key. My message, if I can give a message to anyone about this, it's actually, you don't have to be stuck where you are, and you can't. There are people willing to help. And like you've said, it's really hard to ask for that help. And when we were sitting at that pub, I'm like, I'm from a health and social care world. Stick me in front of a child that's got emotional behavioural difficulties, that's got a knife in their hand, that I can absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, without wavering, deal with that. I'm now dealing in a business world. I've never dealt with business or entrepreneurs. I remember just sitting there, just doing that, and you just was just laughing at me because, but through my background of dealing with these people and helping people, and I used to assess managers in care homes to be able to run the care homes. You have to read people, and I believe that's my gift, that I can actually have a conversation with people. I can read them and decide which approach I'm going to take with them. So some people, for example, on this program are, they're very methodical, very boom, 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 boom. So we can talk about where have you been, what are you doing there? Okay, so from that, we're going to have this action. They're absolutely fine. They go off, they're absolutely buzzing, and they do it. If I did that with another member, they would absolutely crumble. The mere thought of the word action would be, so I have to, okay, what do I need them to do? What do they need to do? How am I going to help them to get exactly where they need to be? So most of my job is about sheer people skills that I've learned in the last 20 years of how to read people, how to change my approach and adapt to my approach, and how to basically get people to believe in themselves. This is not about me saying to you, you've got to do this, this, and this. This is about me saying, okay, what do you need to do? How can we help you? How can we love you more, as you would say? How can we get you to where you need to be? And that is exactly what I do on a daily basis.
You have the unique experience that everybody else that's writing for the book, they're members of what we do, and they're part of what we do, or speakers in what we do, and trainers and leaders in what we do. But you have a unique position that you are alongside me, mentoring, guiding, and being their best friend and holding their hand as they build their brand. You've got the unique experience of knowing all of these from the other side, of supporting them to get where they go. What's it like for you seeing all these authors, like these people that you've been part of their process or part of their life, that all of a sudden you're now seeing them burst into life through this book? What's it like for you?
It actually, it's my purpose. And, doing this job in a supportive environment where, I'm free, I can voice my opinion, and it's never, you're not judged. There's never any sort of comeback. It's a beautiful position to be in. And I'm unique in one of these, sort of writing one of these chapters, because everyone else has got their own business. I haven't. I have absolutely no intention of having one. I have found my purpose. I've found my peace, which for 50 years, I have never uttered those words. I am really happy. I've got a beautiful husband. I've got 2 beautiful children, beautiful grandchildren, family. I'm living in an environment that's perfect. I don't want much. What I want is exactly what I've got now. And I used to speak about all I want to do is retire, and all I want to do is retire. Now I'm like, retirement? actually, if I'm doing a job I love, who needs to retire? So I've watched these authors, I've watched these people in this book. Over half of them I've helped. We've had impact calls. I've been through the highs, the lows at the very beginning. They're full of excitement and full of, I've got this idea, we need to do this. And they're all helping each other as well, not just us two or Greg. It's everybody that's helping everybody. And then you've seen them go from, I've got this idea, but I have absolutely no idea. I've got no clarity. I don't know which direction I'm going in. I've got all of these things to do. And it's like they've got this huge bubble above them that's kind of doing this. I've got this to do and this to do. And they can't. So it's just about between you and I, and we work on a parallel universe together, getting them to where they need to be. You give them all of the skills, knowledge and experience that you've got. I give them a bit of organization and structure, and let's believe in yourself. You can do this, and we have to take them out their comfort zone. We have to take them out their box. But this is unique on the grounds that we're not judging them. We're not making people feel small. We are only making you believe in yourself. So to see how far over half of the people in this book, over half of the authors, the members that we've had go through this process to get to the bit where they're writing their own books, they're going in different directions, they're speaking on stages, their confidence has gone from a tiny little mouse to shouting about stuff. If at the beginning when you ask them the question, okay, so what do you do? One of my first calls is obviously get to know them. And the first call is, and then you ask them that question now, they are, boom, I will give you a 10-second pitch, a 30-second pitch, a 1-minute pitch. So they can only use the tools that we are providing for them in this very safe environment, taking it out to absolutely blow their business out there, because they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready in all of their social media aspects, in every aspect that you can think of for business. We are preparing them to get ready. We are giving you a step-by-step, okay, do this. You can't get to stage 10 unless you've done stage 2. So let's work through this program. Let's work through, to get your vision, your mission, your pitch, your bio. Let's get the first steps done first. Okay, now we're moving on to this. So as long as everybody follows the program, and this book is a complete testament to people showing up, doing the work. And if you look at some people, that don't show up, that don't do the work, they're no further forward now than they were when they started. And that's no disrespect to them, but life gets in the way, and you've got two ways of dealing with it. You either go, you know what, I'm going to have to wear my mother hat and my wife hat and you've got all these hats to wear. You've got to make time for this business. You've got to, okay, how can I fit in? So you're going to get up earlier. You're going to go to bed earlier. This is not going to work unless you show up, you do the work, and you fight for this. Sorry, I'm very passionate, so I will talk.
Never apologise for that. But I think that's the reality of it, isn't it? It's, people thinking, well, how can I fit this in, or what can I do? Just 5 minutes more a day on your business. At the end of the year, that the accumulation, the multiplication effect, the amplification of that, you make that 10 minutes a day, make it 15 minutes a day. If you can do it, we always say to our members, if you can do an hour a day on your business, that is going to be 365 hours that you've implemented on your business over the course of a year. Just imagine, oh my gosh, where your business could be if you were to apply that. And we can all find that time. And I think, we make those excuses, but what do you want? Do you want excuses, or do you want a successful business? You choose.
Where do you need to be? How are we going to do this? And it's not just about me going, okay, them saying, oh, I've got to get this done. Okay, so how are you going to get that done? What steps are you going to do to make sure that happens? And when are you going to get that done by? So by this time next week, you'll have had this done. Is that possible? Are you committing to say, at this moment in time, you can do it? So it makes no difference to me whether they do it. It makes no difference to you whether they do it. It will make a difference to them. So next week, when you contact them again and it's, oh, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. Well, actually, you're now a week further behind. You made that promise. It's going to affect you. So it's about kind of just, I think tough love sometimes as well. Absolutely. We're not going to go through going, oh, it's okay that you didn't get that done because of this. If you're 6 months in and you're paying your money for a membership, you're going to waste that money. You might as well burn that money. So make that our.
Yeah.
Make
We want everybody to be getting the most out of what they're investing. And, you know, for me, that's a really important point. And that's one of the things that you and I discussed very early on is like, we want our members their membership to be cost neutral very, very quickly. And so, you know, that they're making more money than they're investing to go through the process, but that you're learning skills that you won't ever be able to unlearn. Like, you know, everything that we do, you can apply then in everything else that you do. I think one of the interesting things that you mentioned, you know, kind of brought to life for me, you know, there's a lot of structure in what you were just saying. And as a creative, and, you know, through working with me as a creative, I just want to fight that structure. I just want to, like, don't give me structure. I want to be able to breathe and flow. But what that structure does do, because here's the thing, those of you that are watching this right now or listening in, and you're thinking, oh, I don't want that kind of structure. You will want that kind of structure. There's only so long you can be doing that and acting like that as an entrepreneur, a business owner, or a professional. There's only so much time you can go having this kind of, oh, I'm going to do what I like, before you realize that the I'm going to do what I like doesn't give you the results that you like. And so by putting structure in place, it enables you to be super creative in those other areas. So I crave that structure. When I go out of it for too long, I really crave it. I want to come back to something that you said, Wendy, earlier about how you used to be that person who always talked about, I can't wait to retire. I can't wait to retire. And that's actually one of the very first things that Greg and I, when we all got together and had like a social, and Greg and I came away from, you know, sitting with everybody and meeting you all for the first time. And the whole conversation, the whole evening was about, when do I retire? How much longer I've got left? What I'm going to do when I retire? What I can't do until I retire? The whole conversation was like that. And I remember Greg and I getting home from that and saying, wow, if only they knew what we knew. You know, I know that it's not easy for everyone, and it is a massive mindset shift, which you yourself has experienced. But what's it like for you now, being around other people that like, do you just want to say, let me show you? Like, what is it like for you? You're around people that are like that now, because you've been there, you know what it feels like.
Absolutely. And I've been on that journey, and I still have some people in my life that, you know, they're in that position. They're in, and you once you're in the box, you can't see out the box. So I'm walking around like Mary Poppins going, the world's great, and they're like, whatever. And that was me looking at you going, I love that you're
that was less than a year ago. Less than a year ago. That's you.
Absolutely. But, you know, if anyone gets anything out of my chapter, it's, you don't have to be stuck in the place that you are. Actually, you need to make that change. And yes, it's scary, and yes, it's frightening, and yes, you've got to consider this, and you can come up with all the excuses why you don't need to do that. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, that environment I was in, that nobody wanted to be in, and everyone wanted to find another job, there are going to be people still in that same position 12 months on. And I look at what has happened for me in that 12 months with the events that we run. And, you know, I've broken arrow on my throat. I've walked on broken glass. Next week, we're walking on hot coals. You know, all of this stuff there's a world of opportunity out there. You've just got to go, actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to make that change. I'm gonna make that decision today to say, actually, this isn't for me. I'm not happy. It's not bringing me joy. And yes, I'm going to have to take 2 steps back to take 1 step forward. But you know what? If I can be the catalyst that tells you, oh my God, my life, I'm at peace, my life couldn't be any better than it is. I don't particularly have a massive amount of money. I really don't care. I have everything that I need, and I'm in a world that completely supports me. So get yourself out of it. Absolutely 100% make the change, whether that's a small change to look into another course. I want to say that actually after 20 years in health and social care, I'm like, I can't do anything else. Like I'm absolutely, you ask me a question about health and social care, I can 100% answer you, give you anything you need on that. Okay, so to go into a world that you don't know, to actually change your world, to say, actually, I'd love to be able to do that, but that's not for me. I can't do that. Actually, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Talk to us. We will tell you how you do that. Like, so get that message out. Change, you can change. Please don't stop in a toxic environment or an environment you don't want to be in. Make that change.
Just whatever stage you're at, just go for it. Wendy, we are running masterclasses all throughout the year with those people that buy the book through the link that is on the screen now. I can't recommend highly enough that you buy this book, get inspired. Each and every chapter has an activity in it that causes you, that creates that ignition, that sets that ignition off within you to just do something differently, or think differently, or move differently, or visualize differently. Every single chapter has got such good tools in it. I really want to encourage each of you to not only buy the book, but do the activities that are in it. Because, of course, as Wendy said, we can meet you halfway, but if you don't bring your energy to it or actually go and do it, then we can't be responsible for the results. We can only give you everything we've got.
Absolutely.
You do it. But Wendy, I think what would be a really good masterclass that you and I can deliver together is for those that are thinking about building a community or starting to bring somebody on in their business like a you, because everybody needs a Wendy. When you're building a community, when you're building a tribe, everybody needs that Wendy, the person who is going to motivate and support and guide and inspire to be like. It's almost like, Wendy, you say to me these days, you're like, so-and-so client has said this to me. I know how you would answer this. So this is what I said. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That is absolutely what I said. Because you are like, you haven't become me, but you know, even from an expression, you're like, I can tell what you're thinking. Because you need that person. When you're growing a business, the business is the catalyst of change, which in our case, we want the business. Yes, we are the catalyst behind it, but the business is what we actually want to be the catalyst. The program is the catalyst for people who want to go out there and do something bigger, greater, more inspiring than you're doing right now. It doesn't have to be a massive leap. You don't have to be building IBM or Apple. Having just a little tiny idea that can make a difference in your local community, whatever that is that you've got. I really encourage you to talk to Wendy about whether one of our programs would be the right thing for you. I'm going to put Wendy's contact details up there on the screen, so make a note of that and reach out to Wendy and say, I've got an idea, I'm not sure what to do with it, or I want to be in your next book, Catalyst of Change, but I don't even have an idea. How do I even go about having an idea? Wendy can support you to get started on that journey and work with me personally as you go through it as well, because myself and a whole team of mentors are here to support you. Wendy, just some lasting comments. Is there anything you want to leave everyone with today?
Just you make that change. Don't stop in a world that you don't want to live in. Don't stop in a world that doesn't bring you joy or happiness. There is another world out there ready for you. You've just got to find the right environment and the people that support you. We haven't mentioned the beautiful leadership team that we have got working with us, all of different skills, knowledge, experience, all areas of expertise that you're going to need in your business. Don't be alone. Let us help. Send me an email. I will personally respond to any emails that come through to see how we can help you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this world and find the peace that I didn't even know that I wanted. So thank you very much.
You are so very welcome. Wendy, thank you for making the time for us today, because today is your mental health day. Wendy has a whole day just dedicated to her creativity and expressing where she's not working. So I'm sorry, we kind of roped you in for a little bit of a...
You know what? Any other time I would have been like really annoyed at that. But you know what? To give this message, absolutely, what kind of boss says to you, you know what? You haven't like picked a paintbrush up for a while. You haven't gone on your kayak for a while. You haven't, you know what? Do your hours in 4 days so you can have that Friday off. You can do anything you want on that Friday, but it's got to be for you that brings you joy. Mm-hmm. What kind of manager does that? I'm with you all the way on this, all the way.
I love it. We will be back very soon. So, Wendy, thank you once again. Go back to doing your creative shizzle. And guys and girls, we will see you in a few moments. Bye-bye for now.